last year. I fell off of it, and you know, with the snow there,
You know what this guy sounds like? He sounds Finnish. He sounds Finnish a little bit. He speaks like in very, very short breaths. Ciao, 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 ciao. Yo, guys, today we'll be looking at American accents and ranking them from easiest to hardest to understand. The video is by Ollie Richard. Show him some love. Let's have a look.
Nice.
Good evening, your time now, 3:42. This just in. Me. I send things over to my colleague here, Robert Burton. You know, Robert, it was such a wild day at work. How did things go over on your
New
end?
York accent now.
No, this is not a
New
trick.
York
Don't
newscaster
try this
accent.
at home. Listen, you might think you've got a handle on the American way of talking, but trust me, it's a far more complex beast than you might imagine. Now, the easiest accent is so common, it's practically invisible.
This is America's the easiest accent.
Most when they think of the American accent. This is when you're going and you're watching movies and you're hearing an American. This is what you're usually hearing.
Easy to follow, easy to imitate, and as American as apple pie. Think Jennifer Aniston.
I will see if the thing that I think that I know is actually the thing that I think that I know.
The voice of any news anchor or your average Joe.
Now, not only if we...
The thing people will say, this is not an accent. No, it's just the most common American accent. Everyone has an accent.
all began to wear suspenders, would we increase the net masculinity of the American public? And you're just sick and tired of always looking like a plumber when you bend over to get your work done.
Of course, it's no accident they are speaking like that on purpose so that you will all understand them. It's what's called the general American accent. The gold...
Yeah, general American accent makes sense. The most common accent. Many people who speak general American accent will not realize they have an accent. They'll think like their baseline is like no accent.
Standard for clarity. If you come from places like the Midwest or Northern California, well, congratulations, you're probably rocking this accent without even trying. Now, things can only heat up from here, so as we go along, I want you to keep your eyes and ears open.
Sure.
We're gonna go back to the house and maybe chill for a minute or two. Then we're gonna meet up with our pals, eat some supper.
Is this Florida?
Sounds like a plan, dude.
If you don't get this accent right off the bat, then you
Is it Miami or Florida? Sounds like a plan,
probably
dude.
never watched American TV. It is the accent of sun-kissed beaches, tech giants, and avocado toast. And Hollywood loves it. There's no shortage of characters mimicking this accent. Hard to understand?
California.
I wouldn't say so, but a
Miami.
lot of other foreigners get confused.
Just say what you
Tilted
normally
Mallory.
say, but just do it like in a slower, chiller way. You know what I mean?
And you can hear, this is the most grating thing ever. All the vocal fry. Can we get some more vocal fry, please?
Right, okay, I see it now. Nothing like a little bit of vocal fry to warm you up. Heavy on the vowels, got a bit of a drawl, and everything's a question. You know where we are.
The words are stuck in the back of my throat. I have like a vocal fry.
Oh my days, I hate this.
It's not that
This
big
piece
of a
of
You
deal.
said
off.
Southern California, you are right on the money. But by the way, as
This
you can tell,
pisses
I don't
me
have
off, man.
a particularly American accent. Some American accents are straight fire, while others not so much. We've covered...
The general American accent is fine. It's good. It's neutral. Southern California with the vocal fry, like the California vocal fry girl.
the smooth talkers, but now we're heading into trickier territory. Ears at the ready.
I growed up talking like this. I just kind of had to learn how to church it up a little bit.
Oh,
to get a job. But it's always
Texas.
been here. Frankly, I'm a little bit more comfortable talking like this, so this is what I typically default back.
It is friendly, it is popular.
No,
Everyone
it's not in Texas. What is it?
in the whole world knows
What
it.
is
And
this?
despite the drawl, it's surprisingly easy
southern.
to understand.
It's
'Cause
southern.
as you can hear, nobody's in a huge hurry.
And our accent is known for really drawing out its words. Someone like Matthew McConaughey is a perfect example of this.
You heard the lady, but I've got to warn you,
Matthew
this accent's got more accents
McConaughey.
than a rattlesnake's got rattles. So even if you can guess which state it's from, you'll have a hard time nailing down the exact region. For one thing, there's all the Spanish loanwords.
I don't give up easy. You know, in Spanish they call it terco, which means hard-headed. It might take me a while to accomplish what I want to accomplish, but I set a goal and I'm going to try to achieve it.
With all that history and all those horses, what are you going to get? Well, a bunch of westerns, for one.
I say, let's us put our bread in some of that gravy while it is still hot.
See if you can tell me where this guy is from. It's one of the oldest and most distinct accents of the whole state.
Well, didn't find nothing first 30 minutes. That's a telltale sign I don't need to be out here.
Isn't the guy from like Carolina? Wait, isn't it like, I watched the show. It's like North Carolina? No, South Carolina?
It is the sound of the piney woods, and we are obviously talking about the Texan accent. And in case you're wondering why I've got Texas in the easy bucket, well, it's only because we're so familiar with the accent from movies. And
see, my problem is that most people you see from Texas today online, they don't live out in the country. They live in the city. They live in Detroit. Well, Detroit. They live in Dallas. Live in Dallas, Texas, and they just speak with like the generic American accent.
Makes it somewhat easier to understand. Any Texans out there? Listen up. How good are you at knowing who's who in your state? The University of Texas did a study on this, and more than 70% of Texans claim that they can identify someone's exact area based on their accent. It's a huge state, though. That's pretty good.
I believe that.
I got coffee here. Coffee. I got coffee.
This is the New York accent. This is a New York accent now. Coffee. This is New York accent.
Frank, I'll take a cup.
What are you trying to be funny, Karen? You're not funny.
Cup of Joe. Wait, this is a Joe.
Really living up to your name.
Welcome to an iconic accent. It's
New
fast,
Jersey?
it's loud, it's often very nasally, and it can often sound urgent or assertive. In other words, the accent is anything but laid back.
Have a nice sandwich with me, okay? We'll make a nice sandwich, veal sandwich.
Well, that's just a dead giveaway. It was influenced by Italians, and a bit of news here. My list is my list, and I'm including American opinions, but this accent came up in that survey I mentioned earlier, remember? Which accent do non-Americans think is hardest? This wasn't the winner, but it's in the top 5. The thing is, even Americans traveling abroad with this accent often say that nobody understands them, so it's not as easy for us foreigners as you might think. In some neighborhoods,
Yeah, of course, no one's gonna understand your like broken Italian English.
you might even wonder
what do
if
you
you
mean?
accidentally switched into a different language.
I remember I lived on East 81st Street, across the street from my grandparents, which was really nice as a kid growing up.
What a great accent. Where's she from? Which part?
Yep, New York.
Well, these city folks always use a heck of a lot of idiomatic expressions, all their own, and the regional identity is very, very strong. Last clue.
Quick question. Is there a supermarket or deli where I can get cold cuts around here?
Do you know who this accent reminds me of? Chrissy's girlfriend from Sopranos, and they're from New Jersey.
Oh, hungry, hon. Let's settle in and we'll figure it out. I have no mascara on. Valentina, don't worry about the remote right now.
No mascara.
We didn't travel 800 miles to watch Cake Boy.
Bonus points if you got Brooklyn and Staten Island. It's the iconic sounds of New York City. Whoever missed this one, confession time.
7:45, he wakes up, he goes down to church, St. John Chrysostom. Then he comes home, he puts on his black and gold, heads on down to Heinz Field, meets up with my cousin Natalie Carapinas. They hang out there, have a couple kielbasa.
This sounds like North America, like very north, like bordering Canada.
Have a couple
like Minnesota.
Right? That was English.
Sounds like Minnesota.
These guys might as well have their own dictionary. I'm not joking, I threw this one in because when you mix all the local words in with the accent, it gets a little bit confusing, at least I think so. And they really seem to have fun with it. Examples? Well, first of all, forget you all or you guys. Here, it's all about yins. It's a staple of the local lingo.
Yeah, I'm going downtown here. I got my eye rock off of blocks, you know. I live up in Washington County. We're going to get down and check out the game. It's Sunday. They're real good this year.
They talk fast and there's a lot of squishing words together. If you're not used to the pace, you'll probably be asking them to slow down a little bit. One more clue?
Which is a hard one,
You best watch that bush. It's full of jaggers. Hey, it's been raining all night. Be careful on them steps. They're slippy out there. Yeah, I'm just letting...
The thing is, every time I see these examples, I'm like, it's so extra. Like, you don't call rain and the stairs bush and jaggers. Shut the fuck up. You just don't. I don't believe you. You're exaggerating
right
it.
now. Meet me downtown. We'll talk about it.
Right, place your bets now. We are talking about the funny, quirky accent of...
Wisconsin.
Pittsburgh. Did you get it? I knew it. You guys are good.
I got a pig at home and a ppen, corn to feed him on. All I need is a pretty little girl to feed him when I'm gone.
Love it or hate it, this accent is very popular. It's as charming
We are
as it
in a
gets.
southern
Nobody's
state.
going to argue with that.
3 kids later, I'm over here doing daddy stuff. Like my buddy called me the other day and said, hey man, bike night's coming up. You gonna be there? I said, oh, when? And he said, Friday night, 6 p.m. I was like, oh, man, my oldest, he got a bounce house party. I gotta go to that one.
Why on earth is it number 5 though? Well, that drawl might be so smooth, so cool to our ears, but easy to understand? I don't know about that. It starts off all... and then things get gradually trickier the further south you travel.
By God, living, breathing Yelp review coming in here pitching a fit before he's even had a bite to eat yet. I swear to Conway Twitty, you make me want... When you're hotter than grease, say yes to peace. When you're hotter
Buddy,
than
where are
grease,
you from?
North Kakalaki.
North what? Listen, you guys occupy a huge area of the US and you have so many accents that some are borderline dialects. So easy or hard definitely depends on
I take pride in understanding what these guys are saying.
which neck of the woods you are in.
It's currently 78 degrees. I'm bound to contract malaria, get snake bit, and my feeder might even start making popcorn.
She didn't say nothing. She brought me a whole thing. I don't eat much that stuff.
The guy's a striker hat, by the way.
I go bad if I don't eat.
With all the sub-dialects hiding in the valley, things can get pretty crazy.
My best friend got this man, and for the life of me, I cannot find any like in my heart for this man. I ain't got no like in my soul for this man, but the hatred I got for this man, y'all, is strong.
What is going on right now?
And you'll know all about it.
I knew I should have took my monkey tail out here with you doggone white folk. Done left me in the damn woods. Hurry up, come get me.
Pure rage.
It is, of course, a southern accent.
What's next?
Dad's trailer, thought I seen my friend Wyatt. I was walking up the road. John Deere DT 170 was out in the front yard. He was one son.
See, the thing is, this video has cuts after every single. It doesn't sound right. But can you just speak a sentence without 5 cuts?
Thought I seen my friend Wyatt. I was walking up the road. John Deere DT 170
look at
was
my
out in the front
story.
yard. He was one son. Saw his dad's welding mask. He had it on. I went over to him. He was like, "You want to see something?" I was like, "Of course I do. I wouldn't mind."
Anyone not know where this is? Well, people like me have to go scrolling through Netflix to get a clue. Now, some people say this accent is much more rugged than others from the region. I read this on good old Quora, but I couldn't tell the difference between that accent and the next one if my life depended on it.
Got 3 lawnmowers, 4 4-wheelers.
Whoa, buddy, way to cut us off.
Massachusetts. 6 dirt bikes, couple boats,
Massachusetts.
Now, let's say, for instance, you're hanging a picture
Wisconsin.
on the wall, and it just needs to move just a bit. You would say it needs to move just a dite, just over, just a dite. Not that much. Just move it over, just a dite.
And then there's this other place that does strange things like adding R's in weird places. We're headed to the beach for some coffee, milk, and grinders.
Well, you know the Providence Place Mall is the largest covered mall in New England. Pretty cool. What do you think? If we go to Providence, go downtown, it's only like 20 minutes away.
What do you say? Better write down your guesses quick, because I'm going to give you 2 for the price of 1 here. It is country versus big city. If you guessed Vermont, Maine, and Rhode Island, you got them. But did you get the order right?
No, I didn't.
There was a survey about this. Yep, here comes the survey. And as it turns out, when Americans are traveling overseas, us foreigners understand you least if you're from Rhode Island, followed by Maine. Stephen King will be proud. Okay, you can stop holding your breath for the big city accent. Here it comes.
On your right now is going to be another Dunkin' Donuts, okay? Straight up like over the hill. Across the street used to be another Dunkin'
hello. He has a Boston hat on.
Donuts / like Baskin Robbins combo. You know what I'm talking about. All those deals. It's gone now. Anyways, on your left is a Stop and Shop. That's where my dad likes to go. My mom likes Roche Brothers, but she says it's too expensive. Anyways.
This isn't hard to understand. He just speaks fast. This isn't like, they're not using any weird words. They're speaking in normal words, normal English words. He's just speaking fast. Like, try and listen.
Stop holding your breath for the big city accent. Here it comes.
On your right now is going to be another Dunkin' Donuts, okay? Straight up like over the hill. Across the street used to be another Dunkin' Donuts / like Baskin Robbins combo. You know.
It's just like straight up normal common English. He's just saying it fast, very fast.
All those deals. It's gone now. Anyways, on your left is a Stop and Shop. That's where my dad likes to go. My mom likes Roche Brothers, but she says it's too expensive. Anyways, that's where my dad goes. Stop and Shop. There's a Dunkin' Donuts in that Stop and Shop. You're gonna go straight through to the Rotary.
Tell me about your accent.
I've been parking cars.
Okay.
You know, a lot of walking around. My dogs are barking. Dogs are barking. You know?
Have you been to the Charles River?
I've been to the Charles River. I saw Marky Mark there.
This guy has more accent.
Yeah.
Boston, baby.
This guy has more
Wicked
accent.
cool town, I hear. In fact, Dave on the story learning team has run the Boston Marathon. Very proud of him. That's right. And if you know your geography, we are in New England. It sounds like they're rebelling against the rules of American. By the way, did you know that American accents are actually getting further away from each other, not closer? Experts say so, and who am I?
Oh, hey there, friend. You want to come over to the backyard and have a little cocktail?
Are you kidding? It's 33 degrees and
This is
rainy.
Minnesota.
I know.
This
it's
is
like
Minnesota.
spring break, eh?
On
No,
my
it's
life,
freezing
this
right
is
now.
No, it's
Minnesota.
not.
Hey, I haven't seen you since last summer on the lake. How goes it?
If you want a pop culture phenomenon, here we go. Prepare to laugh. While you're at it, see if you can pick up some fun regional differences. So these guys are known for their good manners, strong family ties, Scandinavian blood, and a sing-song sound, as any soccer mum will tell you.
I was driving down the road the other day, and I was in my van, and
Disgusting. I'm gonna skip this. I can't watch this. This is horrible.
How about that accent, though? Not so hard to copy, right?
That's horrible.
Try
That's
this
horrible.
on for size.
So where are you going to Christmas? Well, first we're going to get the family together. We're going to go to Famous Dave's Barbecue, you know, around Calhoun Square.
Oh, this is the worst one I've heard.
Especially around this time of year, or you go to Finley, or maybe you go to Grand Marais. You know, actually, we're going to go to Hinckley.
I gotta skip. I gotta skip. I
Known as
can't.
the North Star State.
Minnesota. What I say? Minnesota. Holy The Minnesotan accent is the most disgusting shit that I've heard in my life. I'm sorry, Minnesotans, but please, lock in. Don't speak like that, please, ever again.
Nice one. Did you know they have the oldest rocks on Earth here? True story. I'm going to sneak in another one here, and I'm kind of cheating putting it in with the number 8s, because things look very different when we touch down in the city where they don't have Scandinavian blood, and they're famous for the very particular ways they say their A's.
Travel around the country, which I did mostly by illegally riding freight trains, which some people might have a problem with, but whatever. It worked great for me. I mean, it's habitat for wildlife, if anything. For me, it just makes me feel nice when I've been outside dealing with most of the human infrastructure that I normally find so revolting. This just calms me down a little bit.
No doubt about it, he's from Chicago, one more wonderful accent in the Great Lakes region. We're past halfway.
That's where Chicago is. For some reason in my brain, Chicago's always been like
a hard
West
time
Coast.
choosing which accents to include because there are a few really divergent ones out there.
I'm stringing up my 4th bass. A woman catches me. She tells me to stop. It's her father's business. I tell her no. She starts casting with me. We spend a whole night packing pasties on the fishing reel counter.
Well, this sounds a little bit out of the ordinary, doesn't it? Or does it? Well, I'm not tricking you. The people who speak like this actually have very different historical backgrounds to other Americans.
The hard part is shoveling the roof off all the time, you know. Last year I fell off of it, and you know, with the snow there,
You know what this guy sounds like? He sounds Finnish. He sounds Finnish a little bit. He speaks like in very, very short breaths. Chow, 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 chow.
it's a cushion, you know, and you fall in it and it buries you, and you just lay there and laugh, you know.
I just wanted to come on here and check on my friends down in
Very
Texas. Are
short
you guys
sentences.
okay? Got some snow down there. I need some help. Need advice? Tips?
Okay, I know what you're thinking. I already showed you the snow and the snowy accents. Yeah, calm down. This one's not even in the same state, guys.
Last year we still had 45 inches in the month of April. And so it's the late spring and the length of the season that wears on you, not the amount of snow.
Okay, all you're hearing is a whole lot of history, including a heavy dose of Finnish, French Canadian, Scandinavian, Cornish, yeah, German,
Finnish.
and Native American.
I
Throw
heard
them all in
it.
the pot of
I
snow.
heard it,
What
man.
do you get? A lot of fun sounds that you only hear in this region. It is the VTUBER accent, courtesy of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I'm going to give you a hint about the hardest American accent of all, so you can start warming up for the big boys. Ready? It's sitting free and happy in the sun in the most linguistically diverse state in all of the US. But will you get it?
I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, the hardest accents for English speakers to understand will be a mix of English and Spanish, or English and French. So it will either be like super south, like New Mexico, or it will be like super north. No, not French, like French Canadian.
Don't think so.
You gotta watch with the mindset that, girl, you wanna learn this accent. You gotta be real intentional. That means that when you watch a video, you gotta try to pause that video. For example,
Why is she yelling at me?
Taraji P. Henson
Why is she
when she was like,
screaming at me?
Robert, if you will cut that out,
Why is
there
she
is no coming
screaming
back.
in my
Bro,
ear?
you gotta pause that scene and try.
This is one with deep cultural roots.
Let's lower the volume
And
of
not
it.
actually a regional accent, but a cultural one. Very significant influence on American pop culture too. Now there are so many different versions, I couldn't count them. Some easier to follow, but others sound like it's all in code.
Yes, right there, right here, everywhere. Swear, downstairs, upstairs, come do my hair. Yes, we talk like that.
Where is her accent from? Get the name of the city, just try.
That's cool, then I gotta earn it.
Is it Atlanta?
What?
Is it Atlanta?
No, I'm saying you can earn your clothes. I gotta earn the creek to earn your clothes. But they my clothes already. What I gotta earn them for? No, you could. I'm not gonna work hard for no clothes that's mine already. Is all I'm saying. What are you saying?
What's fascinating about this accent is it's actually a legitimate dialect with its own grammar rules and so on. Remember, we're talking about a cultural accent, so this is all over the States. It's called African American vernacular English. One interesting thing about the pronunciation is, back in history, most immigrants from Africa didn't have the sound in their native languages. So when they were learning English, words like that became that. Interesting, right? Ready to level up to baffling?
I'm talking about I hit the corner store the other day, you understand me? I had to get some blunts, you feel me? I'm finna get high. I slide back to the crib. Then a little hoe called me. She talking about, I'm trying to slide through. I said, if you trying to give me that air, man, you feel me?
Right, I'm out. I did not catch a word of that. Now, where are we exactly? Well, the city names are coming up in 3, 2, 1. These two are from St. Louis, Missouri, and the last guy is from Florida. How many did you get right? Florida, you win this
0.
round, hands down. But then one day you get lost and go wandering into the foothills.
We got water in the man trip we was riding. We was in the back of it, and that water.
But is that no teeth accent? You can only speak this. You can only speak like this if you have no teeth.
There was 12 breaks of water backed up, and they'll just blow that coal out just like a explosion,
No flame
you
for-
know.
Yeah, I used to go to Indiana. First, I went up there with one of my exes. We were up there and stayed with his grandma. A bunch of her friends come over. I was sitting there saying something to him. Well, they started laughing, and then they come over and started telling me, oh, say this, and every time I'd say it, they start laughing.
Don't you just love the rhythm flowing from their mouths? I've got to say, I find this accent
I'm
absolutely
so sorry.
fascinating. I could listen to it all day long.
I'm so
I've caught him
sorry.
out of many a time. It'd take us a long time to get into town. That old
no.
buggy, he'd tell me to work the brake. We start to go up a hill, I'd kind of push the brake on. He'd tell that old mule, get up there, get. Me scooting the wheel, but he'd look back. You know, Tom, he said, turn the brakes loose. He'd take 3 years of corn to feed it at lunch. He'd start back home about 4 o'clock.
There's a lot to unpack in these accents, so I will keep it short.
yeah.
Ever heard that this brand of English has a really old Elizabethan sound left over from centuries ago? It does. It has a much stronger Scotch-Irish heritage. Both of these things gave this English accent that amazing twisted Shakespeare sound that we love. There's a lot of eccentric words and
We love
pronunciation
it. We love it.
going on. But when some people hit that smoky mountain twang, you're going to need subtitles.
No, we didn't have no electricity, didn't have no electric running water either. We run it out of the, got it out of the spring.
We love this.
But they have
This guy's 14.
He got electricity up through here.
It is, of course, deep Appalachia. I get pulled up on my pronunciation of this all the time in the comments. It's an area
Yeah,
that's
I'm
always
not a
had
fan,
limited
man. I'm not a
access
fan.
because of the mountains and valleys. So I guess if you live here,
I'm
well,
not
you're
a fan.
going to be well versed in mountain talk.
What's going on, son? What's happening? What's happening? Dynamite here, baby. Where's my crazy bird? Where's my crazy bird? Hey, baby. Whoa, baby.
And just to be clear, this is not about stereotypes. Millions of voices out here.
Home to me.
Let's be clear. It's not about stereotypes. After showing one of the most stereotypical clips I've seen in my life.
It's just basically wherever the family's at. No matter, like, if you've grown up with them for a long time or just gotten to know them, family's family.
I'm starting to think this court ain't too supreme at all, y'all. I don't see any sour cream, any tomatoes on this court. This ain't even a regular court. I would call it a value menu court, but value menus actually help people who struggle, so I don't know.
If you've never thought about where your own speech habits come from, you should find out. It's really interesting. Come back later and tell us what you learned. Well, that is as deep as the Deep South gets. Surely there's no trickier accents still left out there, are there? Well, there must, because I'm not finished yet, and when you really want to let the good times roll, better head on down to the land of the next accent.
We say shy, and that's a term of endearment. And you say that when you, or say you look at a baby, or a little puppy, something small and cute. You say, oh, shy baby, shy baby, a marigouin. We have a lot of marigouins here. Marigouin is a mosquito. I can go out.
How did you manage to go from a cute baby to a mosquito?
Outside right now and get tore up by the marigouin.
Beautiful. This one is super hard to understand because it has so many curious little bits that are completely different from what you hear in the rest of the US, but very, very cool. The rhythm, the expressions. But wait. What is going on?
Australia.
The most characteristic feature of the accent is that there is no the sound, and they say things like laissez les bons tons rouler. Because what?
Quand j'étais petit, j'ai fait mon idée. Un jour, quand je suis grand, j'aurai une femme. J'aurai des vaches et des moutons et tout ça.
Yeah, it's a kind of
What
English.
did I
full
say?
of French, but not only French, also Spanish, British English, and there's even a layer from various African languages. That's not how you say it in the regular French.
Is that New
by the way.
Orleans?
And who speaks like this? Well, it's the Cajuns, of course. The Cajun people have French-Canadian descent, and they speak
New
their
Orleans,
own
right?
French
Cajun is New Orleans, right?
Creole language, or Cajun French.
Ton beau m'a dit que t'avais la tête dure. Your boyfriend told me you had a hard head.
Put them together, and what do you get? Well, you get a Cajun English accent. You'll mostly hear this cool accent down in rural southern Louisiana.
Wildlife and fishery agents, Fontenot Thibodeau showed up at Miss Boudreaux's house. Miss Boudreaux was so upset and crying. Mr. Boudreaux ain't come back from fishing. So Fontenot Thibodeau, the wildlife fishery agent, said, we're going to find her, Miss Boudreaux. Don't worry, we're going to find her.
Quite distinctive, huh? Unless you're one of them, good luck understanding anything. Think they deserve to win this battle of the accents?
I've heard them in Cyberpunk.
Well, almost, but not quite. The winner of most difficult American accent of all is, drumroll please.
If I go to Beaufort and I talk to somebody and order something in the thing, they ask me two or three times, what is it? What do you want? And I want.
We had a tea to go to for the president. I wanted to earn the dress.
to get the crease out of it where it had been taped up. And I went to every suite in that norm.
If you are a dingbatter, we'll forgive you for thinking a piece of Ollie's backyard drifted out to sea and ended up here. It's got some real Britishy vowel sounds. Listen.
Wind's blowing really hard. It's blowing harder than a pop cod out there, you know. So you take it a ride around the island, you just take a little scud.
Isn't this amazing? It's an accent that came from pirates, sailors, Africans, and Native Americans who were isolated here a very, very long time ago. And they're still isolated. No wonder the local English is so unusual. The biggest thing that stands out is a totally one-of-a-kind vowel pronunciation and archaic words preserved from Old English just to mess with our modern ears. Where are we? Well, not too many options here. It can only be the Outer Banks Islands. A whole bunch of these here with names like Ocracoke and...
Incredible.
I'm saying that right, but I'm not done. If you have the muscle to canoe 187 miles north, there's another East Coast island accent that'll have you shaking your heads and throwing your hands in the air.
So I had to get out here. Mom's been calling and casting out there all day. She was behind the counter. She said, "It's a Lally Jack." I said, "Who's that, Mom?"
This street here, this will go underwater. These yards will go under during storms.
Oh, don't look at me just because I'm British. No clue, none whatsoever, as you can probably tell. And if I can't understand, well, how could they not win?
Jeez, no one can understand. What do you think, guys? What do you think of those accents? What about the rest of the world? Was the rest of the world has more crazy accents or no? What do you think? I don't know. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching as always. You guys are the best. You guys are lovely. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have an amazing rest of your day. Bye.